He didn't even say how you doing first?
No. It was like, yo, no foreplay. Let's get right to it.
You in the field, baby. No foreplay. You in the
We in the field. We in the field. Just put it in work. We raising the bar. You tuned in to the Trackstarz.
Yeah, man, we are back in this thing. Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah, the Trackstarz, man. Of course, man, go to trackstarz.com to be a part of everything. You know, our sponsor, Unapologetic Clothing. Go pick them joints up. Shout out to Swoope. Man, we got Swoope in the building with us.
What up?
How you doing, sir?
I'm all right for a black man in America.
For a black man in America. Yo, man, we're so glad that you're
How
here,
good
bro.
is that, though?
I know. I know. It's a blessing.
How's that going, by the way?
I'm alive, so.
You know what's so funny? I was going to do the Sway introduction,
Yeah.
and I was going to start off with like, Bow Wow said, I'm from Ohio is where I'm from. And then I was like, no.
Yeah, 'cause we don't claim Bow Wow.
Really?
No.
Man, all right, man. First off, welcome to the show, man. We're glad you're in the field with us, bro. First off, man, let's just start from your beginnings, man, because you really haven't come here before, so we want everybody to know your beginning.
Okay.
I know you from, I got my homie Swoope. He straight from Ohio.
Yeah.
The truth. But also the zoo, you know what I mean? People know you from the zoo. So just talk about that, just a few.
So yeah, the zoo was my first album in 2009.
Gotcha.
I just kind of did it as a hobby.
Yeah.
For my pastor at the time. It ended up in certain hands, and then Truth came to the city to do an event.
Oh wow.
And I rapped some of the zoo, and he was like, "Yo, I fly out in the morning. Can you come to my hotel to chat in the morning?"
Wow.
He's like, "Yo, I dig it. Like, I can feel the passion. The bars are there. The music is there. Like, we should link."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, cool." He's like, "What about getting on my next album?" I was like, "Wait, what?"
Because you was on a heavy hitter. Like, you had, I believe Jehaziel, Stephen Levite, him, and it's like, I got my homie from Ohio. It's like.
So, at the time, I didn't know who Stephen or Jehaziel were.
Yeah.
I had no idea who they were, but I knew who Truth was.
Yeah.
So, Truth's album, The Faith, and also Open Book were very transformative for me.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So like he came to the city, and when they asked me to open at the show, I was like, nah, like I just want to come see Truth. And they was like, nah, you should definitely open.
Wow.
I didn't see it because it was a hobby for me.
Yeah.
You should open. And that just turned into like the feature on a Big Picture.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, yo, who is this kid? And just snowballed from there.
Did you feel like, after that was the biggest alley-oop you had at that time? Like, yo, this is the big one. I have to follow up bigger after this.
At that time, that was definitely the biggest alley-oop. Especially because, like I said, it was just a hobby.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh yeah, let me write some bars for a guy that I esteem, and then I'll go back to living my regular life.
Yeah.
Yeah. The next biggest alley-oop was Cray being on the Cray and Tadashi being on my first single on Collision. Actions Speak Louder.
Wow.
That was the next biggest alley-oop.
Yo, when was the conversion from this is just a hobby, something I do on the side, to yo, this is something that I can really, really do to pursue more, things in ministry, and also something I can possibly do to pay some bills? No, true. Because it becomes that at some point.
Yeah, it does.
It took a while.
Wow.
Like that was 2009. The like, oh, this is for real was like 12. 13 around there. Okay. 11. Well, High Society and Wake Up both came out in 12.
Yeah.
And the response to that was like, oh snap, like this is for real.
Okay.
And then 13 opportunities started to happen. And I had already signed a deal with Collision and all that, and it was still like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Okay.
But I'm still playing keys on the side to make money.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't until about 12, 13 that it was like, yo, you kind of just wrote our Illmatic. You kind of just wrote our Reasonable Doubt. You should. So, yeah.
Did you feel pressure from CHH? Like, man, you're this good, so you got to continue to be this good. Like
Cinema.
Wow.
I felt pressure, and you can hear it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't hear the freedom of artistry. You hear like, oh, it's time to make an album, and I have to make songs that will put me in your youth conference or on this road show or whatever.
Yeah.
other than that, it's always been, and I'm finally back to like, my saying now is I get to rap.
Yeah.
Not I have to rap.
Yeah.
So are we hearing freedom in songs like Hall of Fame, like MVP? Are we hearing freedom on Sunshine?
Getting to it. Sunshine was therapy.
Okay.
So like 2 for 1 that's about to come out. Party dang, I just told y'all the title of the next record.
That's what we do in the field.
Yeah,
Like
man.
the stuff that's coming out.
exclusive.
I'm gonna have to change the title.
Don't do like that, man. Don't be like that, brother.
The records that are coming out this year are freedom.
Okay.
No question. Like, I'm just gonna be myself.
Yeah.
Because that's what Air, my first mixtape, Zoo, Wake Up, High Sis, everything back then was just like, I'm just gonna be myself. And then Cinema was like, oh snap, I have to make a record for this fan. I'm like, nah, that's not what I did before.
Yeah.
I'm never doing that again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So was Cinema like something that you said, saying I have to make it for this fan? Why did you feel like I have to make it for this fan?
Because I was seeing it.
Yeah.
And just immaturity.
Gotcha.
So I got invited into the inner circle very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are a lot of rappers who don't have the access that I was given up front to certain artists, to X, Y, and Z. So I'm on the road with so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so and seeing these big, huge shows. And there's a like, oh, I want to do that too. And they're doing that with these type of records. So I got to make these type of records. So, I mean, there was some blessings in it. You know, you got same team out of that.
Yeah. Which I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah.
Like just how... Yeah, I remember seeing Show talk about that a little bit. He had like a podcast and he was talking about it and he was like, I see his heart, but I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, and it just being what it was. And which in actuality, that's what we need to be on the same team and connected regardless of what camp you with or whatever. But just having that mentality and then having people that's close to you like, I don't know if that's going to be. You know what I mean?
I would look at same team right now and say, I don't know. From a professional standpoint. From a personal standpoint, I stand behind it 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
But from when money gets involved, stuff just gets tricky.
Yeah.
So people looked at same team as put me on. Because we all together, right?
Yeah.
Put me on. Like, yo, you know this person and you know this producer, link me up. And I'm like, that's not what the song was about in any way, shape, or form. Same team was about Ephesians 4.
Yeah.
One body.
Yeah.
One faith.
And
one baptism.
Yeah.
Not like everybody can make the same amount of money.
Yeah.
That's not what it's about.
But in essence, it's like I remember RMG had a record and Derek was writing on it and he was talking about BJ and he was talking about BJ Thompson. He was like how BJ don't want to rap, but he wanted to root us on and he wanted us to see us go and do the Great Commission. And that's what I got from Same Team. I didn't get like, yo, I got to be put on, but I got that mentality like we all together. If you win, I win. You know what I mean? But I don't think people catch that as often.
People might, but if you notice, most of the people that have quarrels with the song Same Team are artists.
Yeah.
So it's just a different vantage point.
Yeah.
Where it's like there's definitely a hierarchy of artistry, and it's like, well, if we're all on the same team, we should all be the star player.
Yeah.
Like we should all be doing what Cray is doing.
Yeah.
We should all be doing what Andy's doing. We should all be doing, even like you come down the hierarchy, it's like, yeah, we should all be doing what Swoope is doing. It's like that's not
true, right? Because serious. Because most teams, you look at the Lakers, right? Like Brandon Ingram's on the team, right?
Yeah.
And he's a star, right? But he's not LeBron of the team. So I understand what you're saying.
But LeBron will not, and he's shown this. I'm from Akron, grew up with LeBron, love LeBron, so this isn't shade. But he's shown you cannot win a championship without a team.
Yeah. Yes. And
you also can't win a championship if there are more than one player, Kyrie Irving, that are trying to be the star. Somebody's got to be
shade.
Now that first one, Look, that first one wasn't a shot. That second one was a shot.
Well, it would have been a shot a month ago. Kyrie is like,
well, he came out,
Brian, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't get it at the time.
Yeah.
And that's where
I
I'm
saw
at.
the phone call.
Yeah.
I saw the phone call. I'm down with it.
It's not even a know your role sort of thing. It's just kind of like, man, I was not talking about record sales. I was not talking about concert attendance. I was not talking about paychecks.
Yeah.
I was talking about real life.
But you know what's so funny is like you see Christian hip hop artists and you see them talking about stuff and all like that, and then one day you see them like, hey, such and such, my album come out, and they get mad because you didn't retweet it, and it's like, I don't know you.
I got a text this morning. I won't say who the artist was. I haven't heard from this guy in At least 3 years.
Wow.
I'm putting new music out. So Swoope is a little bit more visible. Yo, Swoope, I think I got a joint for you. What's your email? And I'm like, I haven't heard from you in almost 3 years. Like, this is not the way.
He didn't even say how you doing first?
No. It was like, yo, no foreplay. Let's get right to it.
You in the field, baby. No foreplay. You in the field.
Yeah, man.
No, but I get it, and you get those texts and or stuff like that, even when somebody you know, and it's like, how do you handle that? Like, do you
Relationship based?
Got you.
So there's
which I think some CH artists hate. They like, why we gotta go relationship based? Why you just can't collab?
Because if not, then you are taking advantage of. You're using me. I'm a means to an end. I'm not a person.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, Swoope has 64,000 on Instagram, 40,000 on Twitter.
It's a
Collectively,
numbers
that's
game that you're playing,
100,000 people.
Mm.
I'm not asking for Swoope. I'm asking for that number.
Wow.
Whereas an artist that, even if it's like we don't talk every day. So I live in Atlanta now, so I'm with a lot of the Atlanta artists all the time. But even if we don't talk every day, if there is a relationship that has been built, I'm more apt to be like, yeah, RG. Perfect example.
Okay.
RG's album just came out 2 days ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
I see RG
Dope,
here
by the
and
way.
there. It's amazing.
Yeah. Raul,
I see RG here and there, right? So we don't talk every day, but when we talk, it is deeper than surface level and it's personal. It's not like, yo, can I get a feature? Yo, can I get a beat? Or me trying to clout chase because RG is on the rise, which is happening. It's like he's concerned about me as a person. I'm concerned about him as a person. So when his album came out, he didn't ask me to put that up. It was like, yeah, for sure. It's relationship based.
Because that's my boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the artists that get that, longevity.
Wow.
The artists that don't get that, they'll burn out because they're burning bridges.
Wow.
They're burning relationships.
So how would you say that to an artist? Like, because it's like, also you don't want to be that guy you don't want to be that artist that try to like click up just because you want to be with you. You really want to have a friendship with you. You know what I mean? Or some type of relationship with you.
Yeah.
But you don't want to be that guy that's like just looking for the next thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You use the word. So I'm definitely not trying to be friends with everybody. But there is a level of relationship that has to be maintained to stay in the music business, period.
Yeah.
Like that's just the way any business works.
Yeah.
You have to have some sort of relational clout to make a request.
Yeah.
So if it's just, I haven't seen you in 3 years and I think you'd be good on this single, that's not the way our circle works.
Gotcha.
It's just not the way our
Gotcha.
circle works at all.
Yo, so you came, it seems like, okay, you're opening up for the truth, right? And then you just shuttled into like everything that's hot. Does that make sense? Like you go straight from there, like it's just a big pop. Do you feel like some type of, I guess, empathy or even sympathy for the people who are like, put out an album, then they have to kind of go through it, put out another album, then they have to go through it, put out another album. They're not even seeing even close to the like, you know, catapult you took.
Nope.
What is you honest?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you why.
Why? What's up?
Everybody has their lane,
Okay.
and if you are comparing your lane to mine, you'll continually be disappointed and discontent. If I'm comparing my lane to KB's, I'll be continually. It's like run your race. So we did the Unashamed conference in 2013, and it was a panel of all of the Reach artists, Derek, Prop, me, and I think that might have been it. Prop said one of the most transformative things for me at the time. He said, if you guys haven't noticed, I'm not a Reach Records artist, but I'm continually opening up for Reach Records tours. I've been rapping longer than everybody on this panel. Like if you go back to Tunnel Rats and then just, I've been rapping longer. And he said, I used to be upset internally, but then I had to settle into the fact that what if it's the Lord's will for me to only be an opener? What if the threshold of my career is to open up for Lecrae? What if the threshold, the apex of my career is to open up for Tadashi? And he was like, I was discontent for a while, but then I had to shift my mindset from professionalism to personal in that it's not just opening up. I get to serve this person by saying like, man, let me warm the crowd up for you so when you come out. So it's like he stopped comparing his lane to others.
I just caught that.
Freedom.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Freedom. So the person is like, yo, I've been putting albums out for da-da-da. I could say that. I have said that. Let me be honest. Now, I've been rapping for 10 years, 11 years. And it's like, freedom, man. I'm just going to put the music out that I put out, let it land where it land, and cheer my homies on. Like, I'm cheering RG on. I'm cheering KB on. I'm cheering Taylor Gray on. It's like, that's not my lane. Like, what you're doing. And people don't know the cost personally of what they see. Like, getting some of these behind the scenes stories and relationships is like, I literally told, and me and Andy was in the studio last night, and he was like, what you doing? And I was like, I'm just putting music out. I got a bunch of stuff on the side that nobody will ever know about that will sustain my family, but I just get to rap. He was like, you don't want to da-da-da. I was like, bro, I've seen fame swallow too many artists up, and I don't want it. Success is different from fame.
Yeah.
But I've seen fame swallow artists up internally. Wow. So people don't even know the cost of what they think they want. And it's like, bro, just be faithful with what you have.
Yeah.
And Adam Thompson said, the definition of success is being faithful with what you have and leaving the results to God. So it's like, what do you have? If your album, The Zoo.
Yeah.
What I had was an old PC, a small, I think, 30-key MIDI controller, and a cracked Reason plugin. I made an album and I put it out for my church. That was what I had, and it was like, all right, Lord, do what you want to do. And now 11 years later, but it wasn't like, oh, I'm trying to be the next, because I see this. It's like, I'm just going to put this album out here, and then whatever happens, happens. And I think if more artists took that approach, there wouldn't be the, like, yo, Swoope came out way after me, and now he's, just run your race, bro.
Wow.
And work on your craft.
I was going to say, like, a lot of people don't know how much work that people be doing to get to where they got to go.
Yeah.
You're a boxer, you're like, oh, I can fight too. It's like that dude boxes every day, all day long.
He wakes up every morning, he's running miles by the time.
He's avoiding all the snacks you eating when you get tired. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
Well, just
That's true.
Just going towards, like, in your career, man, you was a part of two supergroups of course, High Society and We Live as Kings. Like, that's crazy too. I mean, like, you and like supergroup. How was that? Like how was that being in those groups, man? Like,
Yeah, it was awesome. We Live as Kings was fun, but it was work. High Society, I was so young in my career, I didn't realize at the time who I was in the room with. What I was concerned with at the time was very healthy competition.
wow. Okay.
So it was like, I definitely highly esteemed JR. I definitely highly esteemed Show, and I had just met Nat that day.
Wow.
We was like, oh, we need a girl voice on this. She came in and killed like 3 hooks, and we were like, you need to be a part of the group. So she's become like my sister since then. It's my wife's best friend. But all I was concerned about at that time was out-producing JR and out-writing Show.
Wow.
That was all I was concerned with. So there was never this point in either one of those things that it was like, yo, this is happening. Supergroup. It was like, let's just make some good music.
Yeah.
You know, looking back, it was nice for me to be able to be not the glue, but glue in those, where it was like being an integral part rather than like, oh, let me sprinkle you on the top of this song. Like, can you just add 8 bars here, but being like an integral part of the foundation of both High Society and We Live as Kings was fun. And because I wasn't trying to ascend, it was like, let's just make good music.
Yeah.
I think that's just becoming a theme. Like, hey, just create authentically and see what happens.
Yeah.
Then you get a High Society. Then you get a We Live as Kings. You get a Wake Up. You get a X, Y, and Z, because there's no pressure of, all right, the CHH fan is a either 15-year-old white kid or 33-year-old soccer mom. I got to make music that appeases both of them.
Wow.
It's like, nope. Just speak to where you are through art and see where it lands. That's been the theme of my career, and it's benefited me. So I didn't know High Society was High Society when it was happening.
What was your role in, because you said the role, I guess, in High Society was the glue, right?
Yeah.
Like being an integral part of keeping that together. What role did you see yourself in as We Live as Kings?
The producer.
Okay.
I didn't want to be, so me and Wit made 95% of that album.
Wow.
There was a song that I know Dirty Rice produced. Dirty Rice and Joseph Prolazny did one, and then Dirty Rice on his own did Yahweh that I added some stuff to. But it was like I wasn't trying to be the rapper. I just came off of High Society, then Wake Up. The year before, because School of Roses was 14, We Live as Kings was 13. So it was like I just want to make beats.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it was like, yo, Swoope, can you throw a verse here? Da-da, you need to da-da. I was like, all right, cool. So I'm just writing. But my role in my mind was like, oh, I want to be the Wyclef to the Fugees. Like you think about the Fugees and you automatically think Lauryn Hill. But it's like the soundscape was Wyclef.
Yeah.
So I was trying to be that for We Live as Kings. And I ended up having to do both.
Man, so I studied Cray, right? Just because I'm trying to get better as an on-stage performer, right? So as an on-stage performer, I'm watching Cray, I'm watching him do his thing, and then I look behind him, and he has like some drums going, and I'm looking in the back, and I thought I saw you. Is that?
So I was playing keys. I don't play drums.
That was keys?
Yeah, I play keys.
Okay.
For Cray. Mm-hmm.
So you're there. So talk about your role there, like in supporting him on stage.
Same thing. I just like, how can I help y'all? How can I help you? I have this skill set. Oh, it'll aid you there? Great. You don't need to say my name on stage. Like, yo, we got Swoope on. It's like, you don't need to do that. I'm just here to help you. And that is what I'd rather be doing. So I started out as a keys player, a piano player at my church at 15. And rap was just kind of like, this is becoming a thing. But like I said before, all the while, I was still playing at my church every Sunday.
Wow.
Every Wednesday, Bible study, choir rehearsal, Thursday,
still serving.
Saturday service. Yeah, to this day, like tomorrow morning, I'll be at my church playing X, Y, and Z.
Wow.
So I would much rather be the guy behind the scenes that's making things happen.
Yeah.
So the spot with Cray is perfect for me.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Like nobody needs to know my name, but I'm an integral part of contributing to the sound and experience of the show.
Gotcha.
So you come to Lecrae and it's like, oh my gosh, we got to see Lecrae, but you wouldn't want to see Lecrae a cappella. Nobody would.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to see your, and that's not a shot to Cray. You wouldn't want to
Yeah.
see your favorite artist a cappella.
Yeah.
You want to hear something behind it.
Yeah.
And what you hear is produced by someone. So I'm not making the beats, but myself, DJ Promote, and Nate the Beat Breaker, we are producing the show. So it's like, yeah, we can serve Cray in this way. This is great, and nobody has to know who we are.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Talk about 2 for 1.
Yep.
And then working with Natalie and KB and everybody at Native.
Yeah. So I'll do 2 for 1 last. Nat, like I said, we met for the High Sock stuff, and we just clicked. It's like we're like almost the exact same person. Like we tell the same inappropriate jokes. It's like she became my sister quickly.
Yeah.
But she came to Ohio. She was visiting a friend in Cleveland, and we stayed in Akron. She's like, yo, Swoope, can I crash at your crib? I'm like, yeah, sure. And she stayed with us for 3 days, and that was the first time she physically met my wife and children, and they fell in love. So that was 12. And since then, her and my wife have gotten closer than me.
Wow.
So like, there was a point in time when we moved here that we lived across the street from that. So it was like we almost lived together. She was always at our house, sleeping on our couch, eating all of my food.
How was that? Y'all had a conversation about it, or you just kind of let it go?
Brother sister fight. It's like we're way past the like, oh, this is the artist now. It's like explicative. If you don't, so our relationship is way more personal than it is professional.
Yeah.
Cool.
The professional flows out of that, where it's like, man, we click on a personal level. You're very talented. I'm very talented. So there's certain times where I'm working with an artist right now who has a hard time articulating her thoughts to me because there's no personal relationship. I told her, like, yeah, when I work with Nat, she was like, oh, you know, Nat, I just had a meeting with her. I was like, next time you meet with Nat, tell her to come to the studio with us. So now the artist is filtering her thoughts to me through Natalie because Natalie knows how to communicate with me.
Yeah,
Like, there are
dope.
times we're in the studio that we don't even have to say certain things. It's kind of like, I'll fix something. She's like, that's exactly what I was thinking. So
Wow,
there's
dope.
just a click there. The relationship at Native is awesome because Native is like, hey, we want you to be you. We're not trying to make you into this or keep you from being this. We want Swoope to be Swoope, and we want to help aid you do that. So I get to put songs like 2 for 1 out, where it's like my wife is my best friend. Like, and I've learned, unfortunately, that there are a lot of spouses that don't like each other. They love each other, but it's like, oh, we just kind of tolerate each other to put forth this image of commitment for the kingdom. And I was like, man, Jesus is not just committed to us. He doesn't just love us. Like, he enjoys relationship with us. He longs to commune with us, and you don't long to commune or be in relationship with someone that you don't like.
Gotcha.
You don't desire that. You'll do it, which I'm finding with certain spouses is like, we said our vows and I pay the bills, and every 2 months we'll have sex, or like on my birthday it's like, wait, what? Y'all don't.
Nah, I mean, that's a common thing. It's a common problem across the board with a lot of people.
So, it was like, how do I articulate
Not testifying, only shut up, bro.
I feel real awkward as a single man at the table right now.
Felt good, brother.
Just playing.
But you learning.
That's
Full
good.
education.
That's
Yeah.
good. So when the
Storage bank.
yes, precisely.
Yeah.
When the single came out, one of the things I wanted to do was give singles something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Where it's like the portrait of, specifically if we're talking about sex and romance and things like that, the portrait that the church has painted of marriage is boring. It was like, it's super boring. So it's like the thought process now is, let me go wild out and then settle down. Or let me go have fun, do
And
what
then
I
settle
want to
for
do.
whatever this boring thing is.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I'm like, my story was the exact opposite.
Wow.
It was like, I definitely played with a lot of girls' hearts, which I talk about on, what's that song called with Andy? Shallow.
Yeah.
But it was never like, man, let me go wild out and do it. It was just kind of like, man, I'm going to wait for the right one. And now that the right one has come,
Now it's fun.
Bet. It's really fun. So it's like, I want to put that portrait, more than saying like, look at the sex. It's like, nah, I want to put a portrait of something to look forward to for singles, and then something to either identify with or seek to hope in for married couples that may not be experiencing it as well.
But that's so good, because the marketing I'm seeing for it is the covers are you and your wife.
Yeah.
And that's dope. Like that's the whole package of this whole. Even the singles is like.
Yeah. So those are real pictures, like real moments. The 2 for 1 cover, we were at the beach. The MVP cover, we were at homecoming. The Catch-22 cover, we were at church, and we were literally arguing because you can see on the cover I don't have a haircut and I look like trash. And she was telling me as my girl, like, you need to go. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And somebody holds up a camera and she smiles. Those are real moments for the cover, number one. But then the cover's number one. But number two, when I did the All the Time video, I was way out in the deserts of California.
Wow.
And the director called some extras to ride the dirt buggies with me.
Yeah.
Super cool girls. Bree is a super cool girl. Jazz is a super cool girl. I met them that day, but we've continued relationships. I got so much flack for having women other than my wife in the song, because one of the highlighted lines in the song is "Find wife to the left."
Wow.
So find wife to the left, and you look to my left, and Jazz is sitting there, and Bree is sitting there, and I was like, that was not intentional on my part. Like, let me get these cute light-skinned girls in my videos. That wasn't intentional. They were extras.
Yeah.
But if I ever speak about my wife in a song again, she will be visible.
That's real.
Because you learn from that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because it said something that I didn't want to say.
Mm-hmm.
It said Imani. My wife's name is Imani. It said Imani isn't good enough to be visually represented. I can talk about her. It's like, my wife is dope. She's super cool. Like, yeah, why wouldn't I? And so for me, there's an attraction there. But for other people, you see a real husband and wife interacting in real time. So yeah.
Dope. Yo, what do y'all do, like, I mean, just, you know, in your interactions to keep fostering that friendship?
Some of the best marriage advice I got before getting married, one was learn how to argue, which was tough for me to hear at the time because my parents were going through a rough period. But it's been invaluable advice.
Wow.
Like, arguing is not bad. It's actually a really good thing. When you seek to argue maliciously, it becomes...
So they touch how to fight fair?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, got you.
This isn't your opponent. Y'all have differences of opinion. The second thing was pray to laugh. My pastor told me. It sounded silly at the time. But again, you don't laugh with people that you don't like. There's a camaraderie and a fellowship that comes along with a shared joke or an inside joke. It's like there's relationship there. So a lot of it is laughter. A lot of it is like, man, we're finding things to smile about. We're finding things to enjoy together, enjoy communally. Along with the like, let's pray together, let's read together, let's X, Y, and Z. Those are kind of foundational things, but I'm finding a lot of couples do the foundational things and they're not having fun together. So a lot of it is intentionally wanting to have fun with your spouse on top of, other things. But it's like, we laugh together a lot. It's like, I'll find a meme and the first person I want to send it to before the group chats, it's like, I want to send it to my wife. This is my best friend.
Yep.
So, Genesis is not the most important book in the Bible, but it is the only first book in the Bible. There's only one first, there's only one end, Genesis and Revelation. And the way that anything starts is very important. So I'm learning as I'm walking through Romans with my small group that everything points back to Genesis.
Yeah.
Everything points back to the beginning. So for those that are single, it's like, start with a friend. Like, you can get to the other things later, but start with a friend. If you're starting with like, dang, her butt is big, or dang, I really like this, like, that's not wrong.
Well, yeah, because sometimes those are natural starts.
Oh yeah, that's not wrong. But if those things are being replaced for friendship, I would say that's a rocky start. I wouldn't say it's a wrong start. But if it's just like, woo, but you don't have a friend in that person, 7 years down the line when life really hits you, and you're just tolerating this person and you're not finding community in this person, there's going to be some issues. So start with your friend.
So you're saying if you're single, like say you're single and you're dating right now, you're thinking develop a friendship even in that situation?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Okay.
No question.
Yo, what's the response that you're hearing from MVP?
Two-sided. Why are you making Christian stripper music?
I heard, yo.
And thank you for making Christian stripper
Stripper
music.
music.
So it's like people always resonate with my content.
Gotcha.
Okay.
But sonically, they're like, yo, this is
It's fresh.
straight out of Magic City. Like,
Nah, it's sick. It really is.
No, but I think that needs to be made. I mean, it needs to be made to make music that you want to make. That's the freedom you're talking about.
there you go.
Yeah, so make the freedom that you're talking about. Now, here's the question: is like, where do you put that when you are driving? If you with your friends, if I'm with my friends, I'm putting it on and loud. Yeah. I mean, I think that's just who we are. We don't want to tip the scale. That's
so
what we
annoying.
want. Yeah,
it's like if we were to be honest, like 95% of the Christian hip hop community listens to regular hip hop as well.
Yes.
96 or 7.
Yeah. You have
99.
you have no problem when said artist talks about their exploits. None whatsoever.
Yeah.
Even though you are aware their exploits are not the correct path that they should.
Yeah.
So when somebody talks about that same freedom on the correct path, why all of a sudden are we embarrassed? Why all of a sudden are we like, this is awkward? Why all of a sudden are we like, you shouldn't be? It's like, I literally told a guy on my Instagram who was trying to tell me that the way that I was talking to my wife was unpure, it wasn't holy. And I was like, hey man, A, that's your opinion. And B, you are setting the standard of purity and holiness. And that's not a standard that I'm called to live by.
Wow.
So there's that freedom again. It's like, man, if y'all feel like this is wrong, I am confident that it's not. And I'm not required to live by your standard.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to spit in your face, and I'm also not trying to lord my freedom over you, but I do want to show you that these things are okay.
I think it goes back to what you were saying when you talked about the people who love Christian hip hop, right?
Yeah.
And you talked about the 15-year-old kid, right? Or the 33-year-old, 34-year-old mom, right? So generally when people are hearing Christian music, they're kind of filtering it through that target audience, right? And so they're saying, oh, well, this kid shouldn't listen to that. And these kids are most likely the ones who are listening. And those people are probably thinking, oh, man, well, these kids will be messed up if listening to and listening to that statement. Does that make sense? Or listening to those things?
It makes total sense. We only apply these rules to Christians.
Yeah.
And then Christian hip hop has long moved away from the only way that you can listen to a rapper is if he is functioning as your audio pastor.
Yeah.
We've long moved away from that. And it's good. A lot of people will say that that's a terrible thing, but it's like, man, read the whole Bible.
Yeah.
You know, there are plenty of evangelistic passages, and then there's plenty of passages on friendship, on love, on community, on all of these things. I read a book, and one of the most important sentences in the book was, if Christ is the light, which he is, we can talk about the light, or we can talk about what the light helps us see. So it's like, I can talk exclusively about this light, and that's fine. I can also talk about that this light is helping me see things on the table. So when I talk about the pen on the table, when I talk about the chords on the table, I am inevitably also talking about the light. Right. So when we're talking about sex, when we're talking about relationships, when we're talking about X, Y, and Z through the lens of faith, we're also talking about Christ as well. And people don't understand that. They're like, give me a sermon over an 808. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. There are artists that do that.
Yeah, very well.
Going back to running your lane.
Yeah.
There are artists that do that, and they do it really well, as you said.
Yeah.
A, I know that I can't, and B, I also don't even have the desire to.
Yeah. I remember Thiz was saying that one time when we was at Flavor Fest, he told us, he said, I could rap like Lecrae and everybody, but God has given me the passion to write to the trap boys, to the dope boys. Like, this is who I'm called to.
No question, man. And when I started rapping, I was reading my Bible every day. I was playing for churches every day, and then I was also listening to Tribe Called Quest, Kanye, Eminem, Lupe, Jay, Andre 3000, and Common every day.
Wow.
So there was this like melding of sonically, this is what I like, but this is the content that I gravitate towards. And you get this middle ground, and Wake Up happens.
Wow.
And I'm just never straying away from that, because that's who I am.
Yeah.
And it is not, as said Instagrammer said, unpure. It is not unholy and things like that. If you go back and study, I love to keep going back to the scriptures. If you go back and study certain things that Paul said in the New Testament, he was quoting secular writers at the time.
Wow.
And it's in the Bible.
Wow.
So it's like, are you going to tell Paul he wasn't being pure and holy because he took some cues from a lot of the gifted writers at the time? No, you're not. So it's like people are setting standards that I just refuse to live by.
All right, man. We ain't gonna keep you all long, but I got one thing quick to just ask you, go through real quick. It's kind of a this or that situation. You know what I mean? All right, so this or that. Akron Art Museum or the High Museum in Atlanta?
Akron.
Okay.
Wow.
Studio or stage?
Studio.
Rapper or producer?
Producer.
The next championship coming out of Ohio, the Browns or Indians?
The Indians.
Indians. A part 2 from your discography, Wake Up or Sunshine?
Neither.
Okay. Cedar Point or Kings Island?
Cedar Point? What?
A collection of songs for an album or concept album?
Swoope in 2019 would say collection.
Okay.
Yeah.
College Dropout or Food and Liquor?
Come on.
Oh, that's a good
That's
one.
tough.
That's a good one.
College Dropout.
Okay.
I have to give a caveat. College Dropout changed the world.
Yeah, it did.
Food and Liquor changed me.
Okay.
So,
Wow.
College
Okay.
Dropout.
Jazz music or classical music?
Jazz.
Okay. And then the last one is, if you do another group album, High Society or We Live as Kings?
High Society.
Okay. Thank you for coming, bro.
Not even
We so excited, man. Thank you for coming through, bro. We're about to get into MVP right now, man. You're in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Thank you, brother, for coming through, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, man.
Yep.
All right, man, let's go.
Hey guys, Miracle here. Thank you so much for watching that episode. Make sure you go below, like it, subscribe, click the bell, and make sure you follow us on all forms of our social media. Also, check out our website and be sure you spread the word. We'll see you next time.
We know not what we doing. Screw that, they know, let them have it, do it. Okay, I'm erratic, prove it. Never mind, got a mind that'll wind up with me in a lineup behind bars with these bars. Okay, my time's up.
Team Freedom.
Yeah.
We not through yet.
All right.
Trackstarz Music presents.
Turn my volume up. Turn me off.